Dr. Bhante Saranapala, it is such a great pleasure for us to have you with us again back after a long time in Bharat Marg. We are
Yeah.
so thankful you could join us. Okay, welcome.
No, thank you, Mr. Dilipan, for having me. It's so wonderful to see you after a year or so. I think you have been in and out,
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
yeah.
And
But I have been receiving all your communications. I see what you're doing.
awesome, awesome. See,
Yeah.
basically, your motherland is in trouble. You know that, right? Uh,
Yes, I'm fully aware of it. What's happening in Bangladesh? Like last week, I think a group of people set fire on some Hindu temples in Kumilla. And then yesterday, another group of people set fire on a Buddhist temple
right.
in Teknaf.
Exactly.
And
That's something I was about to say. Yes.
yeah, and they also hurt some people. I saw some videos and pictures. So I think this kind of activities or violent activities going on in that part of the world maybe due to lack of understanding, lack of respect, lack of humanity. And I think we all have to understand the fact religious practice is a personal thing. But I think we have to bring the humanity first. When we talk about the humanity, we all are human beings. Like when we came to this world, we did not come as this and that with an identity. Maybe that identity was given to us by our parents or the environment, the community, the society, the country we were born in. But we are human beings. As human beings, we have to give the or receive the proper education, the right education, that we are one family and we are members of the one family if we believe. So as a members of one family, we can't hurt others. We can't damage the humanity. The humanity is our home, is the family.
But Dr. Bhante, what you are saying is right, but some people won't get it. Destroying the temples, destroying means minorities. There is a two part to it. At one part of the
Yeah.
world, you will be the minority where you will cry foul and cry victim card. On the other side of the world, where you are majority, you won't leave others to live peacefully. What do you do
Yeah.
with
So
this?
that is because of when people become emotional, when people um live under the influence of self-centeredness, uh, anything could happen. People are going to suffer from it, from this self-centeredness. I think we have to take some steps to educate the people,
How do you educate?
even the minority living in a majority country are human beings. They should be given the freedom to practice
You
what
know,
they believe in.
absolutely. But you know what happened in Afghanistan?
yeah,
Afghanistan used to be a beautiful country once upon a time. You know that.
yeah.
You know,
Well,
today,
yeah, the Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Indonesia, these were peaceful regions in
and
the history.
Afghanistan, yesterday, the decade has been given the ultimatum. Either you convert or get out. You don't have third
Mm,
option. You know,
yeah. So I think the government has to uh, respect. They have to come up with this strategy uh, to help its citizens with their own uh, beliefs or cultural values, spiritual values. And I think that kind of ultimatum was given to the people in the history, but they were not able to achieve their goal.
Doc- Dr. Saranapala, sorry. I was saying the minorities who were getting
Yeah,
attacked. Yesterday there was a peace
yeah,
rally happening in Bangladesh,
yeah,
and in
yeah.
that peace rally, in front of the president's home, stones were pelted on the peace rally, attacking the women and the children. you know Now, I was talking to them yesterday and consoling them, and I was saying them, you know what, I'm going to talk to Dr. Bhante Saranapala. He is going to talk to you all. Okay, he's not talking to me, he is going to talk to you guys. And because he
Yeah.
is from Bangladesh, and he has been on the receiving end before moving to Canada. Okay, he is going to talk to you. So please, you talk to those folks who are affected, who lost their brothers, sisters, sons, daughters. A pregnant lady was raped, and those
Mm,
kind of many things are along with those things and killed. You please talk
yeah.
to them and say them what you will recommend.
Well, the violent activities should be condemned, and I know those who became the victims to this violence, they are feeling hopeless at the moment. They are feeling threatened. They are hurt. But during this difficult time, we have to remain strong. We should not lose our hope. We should not lose faith in ourselves. We should remain strong in believing in ourselves, in our values, in our spiritual values, our cultural values. If we lose hope and faith, we are going to lose all our values. So we need to talk to each other with a heart full of love and compassion. And of course, it is difficult. It might be very difficult to communicate with majority people who believe in something, but we have to have faith in the patience, love, and kindness. And we have to
how will you talk
communicate with our...
how will you talk about love and kindness and God to the person who lost it all?
Well, I have seen, even there are people in Bangladesh talking about giving comforts. Even I have listened to one video where a young lady was saying, hurting others like this is not the Islamic values, she's saying.
Do you believe that?
And if you believe, now what she's saying, I'm just quoting her. If you believe Islam is a peaceful religion, then as the believers of peace, that you have to come forward to spread peace and stop all this violence. If you don't, then it's going to damage your own religion. So this is what this young lady is saying. And the religious conversation is a very sensitive issue. People easily get incited, become emotional, and they just believe in one thing. They just want everyone to be like them. But in this world, it is impossible to be like that. World is divided.
Dr. Saranapala.
The world is yeah.
Dr. Saranapala, what you say makes sense, but how will you make others to understand? For example, you have a different way of life and I have a different way of life, but we have a friendship for a long time. And I was in Sarnath now. In fact, my documentary about Sarnath is coming shortly. So many things we do, and but how will you talk to the people who say my way or highway?
Well, to those people, they have to. I think this is all about, as I said, this is all about the education. I would say something like this. There's a saying in Sri Lanka. Okay, if you live
for the benefit of the watchers, viewers, Dr. Saranapala is basically from Bangladesh, but he became a monk and served in Sri Lanka. He started serving.
I was brought up there, trained there, and so there's a saying in Sri Lanka which that means when a frog keeps living in the well, the frog thinks this is the only world. Right? But the frog has not come out from the well. The frog has not seen the world, that there are other people, there are other ways of life. And then if the frog thinks everyone should be like me, then the frog would be in big trouble.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so for me, I travel. I meet people. Like here, we are living in Canada. Sometimes I tell people, I wish the whole world could become like Canada. Now, Mr. Dilipati, we are living here. And here in this country, you have people from every country. You have people from all religions. You have people from all cultural values. But this country allowed, people who have become Canadians to follow, to practice their own religion, their own culture freely, without hurting anyone else. Basically, you embrace the humanity, the every citizen. It's also like that. I have to give you this simile. Let's say the flower garden. If the flower garden if the park has only one type of color or one type of flower, that flower is not going to be looking beautiful. That garden is not going to be looking beautiful. That park is not going to attract the people. But if the garden is full of different colors, different flowers, it gives the beauty. It has the power to bring the people to this particular place to enjoy the environment.
What you say is absolutely great. But what will you say to those victims, okay, who fear? Just a few short years back, there were 49% of minority, which has come down in few short years after the creation of Bangladesh. It became 8% to 10% as a whole. Okay,
Yeah.
what will you talk to them? What will you say them who fear that they will be forced to lose their God, their culture, their civilization, their way of life, because they want them to be like them also? What will you say
Well,
to these victims who lost their life,
we
properties, temples?
well is the unity we need. The unity. Now, if people are divided, they are going to fall. If people can remain united, they can stand, they can live. But even within the minority groups, there is a division. It is this division that is allowing the others to come and hurt. But if we can come together, if we can become one voice based on love, kindness, and compassion, and I believe no one can hurt us. If people come to hurt us, then we can go forward as one voice, one community. We have to be united.
Absolutely. My one request to you, Dr. Saranapala, you are working on the humanitarian things from Canada,
Yeah.
But for our Canadian government, unless until you look certain way and your name is certain way, you are never a victim.
Yeah.
You are never a victim. I want you, like people who are the leaders in the community, to write to the government to raise their voice for the victims of Bangladesh, because enough is enough. It's not that one community is victim always and others are oppressing them. That's not true. Do you agree
Yeah.
with me on that?
Yeah, it's
No
like
politician from Canada, no politician from Canada said anything about it.
yeah, that is very unfortunate, and
This is what is you called as Canadian way of living. No politician.
Yeah, but I think Canada. I'm not into politics. Sometimes these countries don't like to get involved unless if there's a major disaster.
Yeah, but they want to get involved in Syria. They want to get involved in every other place. When
Yeah.
a little kid was on the shore, they were getting involved. But what about you and me and my brother and your brother who are struggling there? Are they not victims?
Yeah, there are organizations in Canada. They are actually trying to reach out to the Canadian government, and they are writing, and we are also talking to some politicians that we know of, and what we are trying to explore the ways how this country, Canada, could make some influence on the Bangladesh government. Eventually, the Bangladesh government has to come forward. If the Bangladesh government allows these extreme elements to continue their activities, that will damage the image of Bangladesh. I think the Western governments have to put some pressure on the government of Bangladesh.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We want a couple of things from you. Is pray for the victims. Number one.
Yeah.
Because people like you who have dedicated your life for the humanity. Your prayer means a lot to the victims. Number one. Number two, using your influence to let the Canadian politicians know that not always victim means votes.
Yeah.
You have to stand with the victim, not only with the victims who carry the vote for you.
Yeah.
And
we are trying. We are trying, as you know, through our organization, Canada Mindful and Kind Nation, and we are trying our best to bring this message not only to Canadian government, but also to other governments around the world. And our main mission is to call every country a mindful and kind nation based on the principle of kindfulness, which comes from mindfulness and kindness. And we are encouraging people to consider following the two principles. The first principle is be mindful to be kind to yourself. And the second principle is be mindful to be kind to others. And I believe if every global citizen chooses to be kind to oneself and chooses to be kind to others, in this way we can maintain peace and harmony. And this is the message I'm spreading. I have to tell everyone, those who are thinking of doing more damage to the minorities, violence is not the way to heaven. Hurting others is not the way to heaven. It's the non-violence, it's the peace, it's the harmony, it's the love for humanity is the way to heaven. If we really believe in peace, violence is not the way to peace. Hurting others is not the way to peace. Peace itself is the way to peace. If you're not peaceful, you cannot make the nation, the world peaceful.
And one thing I get from this interview, what you said is absolutely right. The minorities of Bangladesh, the message you have given in between all those nice words is the minorities of Bangladesh should iron out the differences and start working together.
Yeah.
Either you work together or get eaten away.
Yeah, we have to become one. I know the minorities are divided, and the leadership in minority groups, there has to be a strong leadership. Without this strong leadership, let's say if the so-called leaders have to come together, they have to talk to the government, they have to talk to the responsible people. In this way, we can stop this kind of violence in the future. But if the minorities remain divided, this kind of violent activities will be repeated.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time, Dr. Saranapala.
Thank
I
you.
just need 1 minute if you can take it and do a quick prayer for all the victims and their families for their peace.
Yeah, so I would like to do a prayer, and I would like to send the positive energies, blessings to all the victims who are suffering from this violence. They are living in fear. So let me do a little recitation. Dukkha patta ca nidukkha bhaya patta ca nibhaya soka patta ca nisoka hantu sabbe pipanino. Those who are living in pain, may they become free from pain. Those who are suffering, may they become free from suffering. Those who are living in fears, may they all become free from fears. Those who are grief-stricken, may they all become free from grief. May all sentient beings be well, happy and peaceful. May all sentient beings be well, happy and peaceful. So may everyone remain strong with faith and hope. Never lose your faith and hope. Stay strong as one community with unity. Once again, I had to say this: divided we fall, united we stand.
Jai Shri.
Be kindful.